What's up, everyone? Hello, and welcome back to a new video. Well, in today's video, it's that time of the week again where I get to try some of the weird, crazy, good / bad tunes that you guys usually send me. Now, if you want to send over some tunes for me to try, go to the Discord. Link to that is down in the description box below, along with a bunch of other stuff. And also, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content and you've seen some videos on the channel and maybe you haven't subscribed yet, or maybe this is your first video and let's say you're enjoying it and you want to see more, subscribe to the channel because it helps a lot. Plus, I'm trying to get to 400,000 subscribers and obviously every little sub helps. Now, for the tunes themselves, let's have a quick look. There's one of them that I've already chosen. I already know what this tune is. Well, I don't know what the tune is, but someone sent me this tune over and I was like, you know what? It is... I like the confidence. I think it's it's a good idea to be confident about your tune. This guy said he's a rank 20 tuner who's made over 1,000 tunes, and this BMW M308, which is the E92 for A class, is the best race car I've ever made. It has top 300 on Copper Canyon, sprint with a bunch of Dodge darts around me, rip it down the Golden Tollgate, and you have my permission to roast the out of it if it sucks. The reason why I haven't said that word is because I think my video might get demonetized if I say bad words at the start of the video. So that's why I'm not saying it yet. Anyway, I like the confidence. I want to try it. I want to see. I don't think we've had an E92 so far go down the Golden Tollgate. Not that I can see. Also, on the Discord that you guys are watching, there is actually a leaderboard there where you'll be able to see a bunch of different types of tunes that you guys have sent me, and I've tried them out for the track. So 2008, there we go, E92. I have one of these already built. This one here that I have built, I think I've built it for racing. I think I actually just built it to the top of A class just for the sake of having something there for racing, I think, for some events. But I'll use the blue one because I don't think there's anything done to this one. I'm pretty sure this one is completely stock. So let's go over to tunes. Boom, share code. You guys can try it yourselves as well if it's good or bad or whatever. So, share code for this tune is 165518828. There we go. Boom. That's sorted. That is the code. What's happening? Oh, there we go. Alright, sprints, manual clutch, rally suspension, drift tire compound, rear wheel drive. It's actually set up as a decent build. Obviously better than the original tires. Still kept as rear wheel drive. The rally suspension and the drift tires. The drift tires I know for a fact are just better than the street tire compound. As soon as you try and bring this thing up into like the higher class, I guess. Or sorry, not the higher class, but as soon as you try to give it like slick tires or something like that, I think it'll just jump in class a little bit too high up. So I think this is a good compromise between the grip that you can actually get with it and actually also trying to keep it in A class. So I do see why he's done this. Weight reduction as well makes this thing significantly lighter than it was before. Top speed unnecessary for this track. It doesn't really matter. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what he's done. Has he added any aero parts on it maybe? Or not? I don't know. Let's have a quick look at it. Yes, he has. Oh, he definitely has. I love E92s, man. At one point, I was thinking of getting rid of my M4 and getting an E92. It is cheaper than my M4, like in real life, I mean. It is cheaper and it's cooler because it's got the V8 in it, you know? But I don't know. I don't know if I'm down to get rid of the... I like how modern the E92 or the F82 that I have is. I don't know, there's just something about it that I really like. I think as a daily car, as an overall car to own, I love my F82. I think the E92 would be a good car if I wasn't going to daily drive it, if that makes sense. But I would love it, an E92. It does slide quite a bit. I think maybe it's just the rain. Alright, anyway, so he said Golden Tollgate. So let's give it a shot and see what it's like. So the Golden Tollgate, for people that don't know, basically is a track or an event that someone has sent me a long time ago, and since then there's a whole list of tracks, or sorry, there's a whole list of cars that have been on this track. It's been played 120,000 times. Half of those are probably me. It's an incredibly good track. Now, it's basically just the kind of Estes drift zone, like whatever the mountain pass road, except it's made narrower and a little bit more, I guess, difficult to drive on because, like I said, it's made narrower. So, basically, it's just made to look kind of like a Japanese mountain pass. Okay, let's see. Let's see what it's like then to drive this thing. It's a little slidey. Way too fast. Way too fast. I don't know why I went so fast there. I don't know why I went so fast. Let's have a quick look to see. So slippery on the wood. Okay, careful now. Careful. I had to try brake very early. I don't think the brakes in this thing are very good. Oh my god, lots of sliding. Lots and lots of sliding. Okay, careful with the brakes. Like I had said. Nice and smooth on the power. Oh my god, okay. So this has the power of an S1 car. The thing is, though, you just have to be a much better driver with it. Because you're not driving around with, like, fully slick tires and stuff like that. Like, I just feel like you just have to be so much more careful with the way you're driving. Usually when I do my builds, I try to give them a lot of grip, like, as much grip as I possibly can. And then worry about the power later, and then just try to kind of keep my speed up as much. Oh god, try to keep my speed up as much as I possibly can in the corners because, you know, because the car won't have as much power to accelerate or whatever. This is kind of different. This is slightly worse tires, but he's giving it more power. I mean, like I said, this thing has S1 power here. Like, it's just so much more powerful than a lot of the cars that I've brought down this mountain pass. But if you're careful, wait, you're a bit too fast. It's okay, I'm doing 2 runs of this anyway. But if you're careful with it, by the looks of things, careful with the power, be gentle on the throttle, and the steering, try not to be like too forceful with it. You can get this thing to drive really smoothly, and at that point, you're actually driving very quickly. Don't worry about the little touches off the wall. This is more of a kind of like a scouting, well, not a scouting run, but more like a try to get used to the car type of run, as usual. Yeah, I immediately noticed how smooth you have to be on the throttle with it. You can't just go out of corners and just floor out of it, if that makes sense. So that's the fun thing about this car. Oh my god. A little too late for... Yeah, braking on this car is just bad. I don't know if it's just because of the tires or what's good, but... Not a big fan of the brakes. Oh god. Careful now. Can't be going around sideways in that gap. Nice and early on the brakes again. Trying to go too fast, or I'll end up in the guardrail. I really like it. I really like it. I know he said I should try and roast it, but I can't really roast it. I realize what he's tried to do here with his build. Like I said, usually when I build my cars for the Golden Tuggy, I try to make it so they're very grippy, and then I kind of work from there. And then I work from there and try to give it more power, and then maybe reduce the grip, or maybe add a little bit more weight or whatever. This guy kind of made it so it tests your driving skill a little bit more than the tunes that I've made, which is a good thing. Because I think if you can perfect driving like this, you can get really, really fast times. So smooth on the power, smooth on the steering and the braking and everything like that. Like if you can perfect driving like this, you can get some quick times. Too bad I suck at this game, so this is going to be a very slow time. Yeah. Maybe this could be better for tracks that aren't for the Golden Toge though. Like a 441 with mistakes is not bad. It's really not bad. So 441 is technically the second fastest A-class car that's on the list at the moment. I'm gonna go again, and I'm gonna try to do a little better, because that was like my first run just driving around. So let's try to fix some of the mistakes and see if I can go a little faster here. But it's actually not a bad tune at all. But I do, however, think that this would be better on like a, I guess, a longer sprint circuit. That's why when he mentioned that he's like top 300 on like some sprint circuit, I feel like it'd be better for that than it would be for the Golden Toge. But I'm gonna try it anyway and try to see if I can improve. And I'll show you guys the exterior perspective of this run when I finish it. So let's go. It's a little better. Right at the very end, bro. Right at the very end, I ended up messing up a little bit. I mean, it's the second fastest. It's the second fastest A-class car that you've sent me. The fastest being the Lotus Exige. I mean, it's just such a weird mix. It really is. Alright, well, here's the exterior perspective. It feels like it doesn't belong in this track. It definitely feels like it's a car that should be on a more, I don't know, a longer like circuit, or not circuit, but like a sprint event, if that makes sense. Because he did say in his comment on the Discord that it was top 300 on some circuit, or some, I keep saying circuit, sprint race, some sprint race. So I feel like it's better for that. On this, however, it looks really clean from the outside, but it actually does require a lot of work to be able to get this thing to be like driving the way it does. So a lot of throttle control, a lot of steering control, all that stuff. It's a more difficult car to drive than I feel like it should be, if that makes sense. Even though it is actually a very good car to drive. I think once you get used to it, once you drive it quite a bit and you get used to it, it's easy. It's easy enough to realize, you know, when the back end is going to step out, how it turns in and stuff like that. But it is the car that I feel like it needs you to be like on your toes, basically. Because you will end up pushing this thing too wide, and you will end up giving it too much power, and you will end up sliding it really, really easily if you're not careful. But it does drive really well. So I can't really roast the tune because it's not something to roast. I feel like it's a good one. So I'm gonna give you props on the tune. I actually really like it. I think it's good. It does a good job. Like I said, it's the second fastest, I guess, run that I've done on this. I feel like I've done multiple runs in the past anyway, even with like my own tunes. But I feel like for this track, you actually do need more grip, because then you can just go around corners quicker. Now I don't know exactly how this is going to work with the fact that it's got this much power and it's rear-wheel drive. If I give it like the super sticky like race tires, what the class is going to be like. But it seems alright the way it is now with the drift tires, so I feel like it should be pretty easy to control. Now, like I said, again, once you give it the really sticky tires and stuff like that, how will it handle for this track? I don't know. But I think we should find out. I honestly do think that I should try and see if I can build a version of this car where it doesn't have as much power, but it does have stickier tires and same sort of aero and everything like that, and then try to see if I can get my version of this car to be as quick as his version of the car. I'm still going to keep it rear-wheel drive, I'm pretty sure, because it's going to be lower in class if I do, but I want to try to see, especially for this track, because his is going to be faster. Like, his is just going to be significantly faster, so I don't think I'll have the power for me to be able to do that. But I'm going to try and do the same sort of build and try to see if I can kind of verse your tune that you've sent me for this track, because I don't think, like, this car is very good, but I don't think it's built for the Golden Toge. I think this is built for like a different type of sprint event. But I want to try and see if I can build my own and try see if I can get it to be a little quicker than your tune, or see if maybe I'm slower than your tune. Maybe your tune is the better one for this track. But I want to try and see, because like I said, I feel like for this track, especially for the Golden Togi, you need a ton of grip and you need to go as quickly around corners as possible. But I don't know if that's a good thing with this car, to give it the stickiest possible tires. But I want to try it anyway, and I want to see. I feel like aero-wise, I'm kind of similar things, just sort of big old wing at the back and the splitter and the counters at the front. But other than that, I honestly feel like, even with the stock power, because this thing already has like, what was it, 414 horsepower, something like that. I feel like even with the stock power of this car, you should still be able to get a really good time. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to see if I can verse this guy's tune and try to see. I love how this video turned from me test driving your tunes or whatever, you sending me tunes, to me actually versing the tunes that you guys have sent me on the same car and try to see if I can make it better. Or so hopefully I can try and make it better. If not, then I obviously will end up failing and I'll say that this is the better tune. But I want to try it myself, and I want to try to see what I can do. I'm not going to show you guys the whole build process because I feel like it's going to take forever, so I'm going to try and build my own real quick, and yeah, I'll be right back. So 4:38 with this thing, literally a second off being the fastest or tying the fastest car that's already on this track from you guys. All right, one sec. Let me go do my own thing real quick. Well, this is what my setup is looking like now. 1,473 kilos, 426 horsepower. I gave it pretty much race tires. Similar suspension though. I think I bought the same off-road suspension because I think it keeps it lower in class, if that makes sense. But yeah, let me try and set up a tune for this thing now with this. Still kept it rear-wheel drive, like I said, but let me try to set up a tune for this thing and see what I can do with the way I set my cars up. Alright, my tune is ready. Very basic setup on it. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. I can already tell it has much less power, significantly less power. It's very noticeable. But I also have so much more grip. I can accelerate out of corners much quicker than with the, or like I can give it more power whilst I'm still in the corner, if that makes sense, or more throttle while I'm still in the corner, compared to what it was before. Basically, before I had to kind of wait it out a little bit before I did anything, or like try to really ease on the power to be able to do a nice clean corner. Which, don't get me wrong, it's still very satisfying to do. Actually, it's more satisfying than it is the way I'm driving this car right now. But this car kind of makes it now easier, or whatever, this setup or this tune that I have on now will make it easier on myself to be able to put more power down earlier in the corner. I also upgraded the brakes, which I don't think he's done, and hopefully that should help out a lot as well. You can brake a little bit later. So like I said, oh my god, the brakes are, it's like night and day. Yeah, for a track like this that you constantly need to speed up and slow down on, I don't think his tune is the right way to build a car. But I think there are, like I've said, probably sprint events that the way he's built his car is definitely much better than what mine is, but not for this track anyway. This E92 platform is actually very good for building something fast like this. I am significantly faster, by the way. I feel like it still wants to oversteer slightly, but not nearly as much as before. Lots of torque out of the car as well. Try to keep it up high in the revs though. I'm pretty sure this engine needs you to keep it really high up in the revs. Here I don't really need to slow down that much, just like the last time I used it. I used to have to really slow down for that, but I don't really have to anymore. Yeah, I have a lot more grip. I mean, it's obvious with these tires, but I went too fast. I went too fast. I messed up the balance during the corner and the thing just started understeering. I didn't do it right. I kind of slammed on the brakes and then just turned and Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Let's try it again. I think I'm a little bit better now at judging braking and everything. And when I should start accelerating. Technically, with the guy's tune that he sent me, I did like 3 or 4 attempts. Not for the time, because I did crash a couple of times, that's why. But it took me like 3 or 4 attempts. Obviously, it's the very first one that you saw, and then the one that you saw that I was in. I showed you guys the replay of, which was the fastest run that I've done, is just kind of a completed run that I've done, which is about 4 attempts later on. After I've done the very first one that you've seen from the cockpit view. Oh, little tap off the wall. I was actually staring at my speedo. Just wanted to see what sort of speed I was going through that corner. I'm so bad at this game. I need to pay attention. I need to shut up and pay attention. Couple of taps off the wall, but you know what, I'll keep the lap. Don't slow me down that much. Still not used to how good the brakes are on this thing. The tune that I drove before this, obviously, those brakes were made out of mashed potatoes, so every time I stomped my foot down to try and slow down, it was thinking about it, and then decided, nah, I'm not gonna slow down. Now I actually have good brakes. Now I actually have usable, good brakes. This is a really good platform. I really like the E92 platform. The car drives so well. Super precise, the front pulls in nicely. Lovely bit of power as well from it. Obviously the front engine rear-wheel drive layout is also very, very fun to drive like this. And just like that, I did a 434. Yeah. It's like, even with the mistakes that I've made driving it, I still managed to go faster. Like I said, for a track that this requires you to have like a lot of grip, and you need the grip. Whereas the other car, you kind of needed to be going really, really quickly Because when you're slowing down for corners, as this track needs you to do, slowing down for like tighter corners and stuff like that, I feel like a car that has a lot of grip so you can accelerate out of corners very quickly, it's kind of necessary, which the other car didn't really have. Around longer corners, around bigger corners, it was very good, right? I had absolutely no issues with that. It drove really, really well. But like I said, for the tighter corners, you definitely need the car that has a ton of grip so I can like floor it out of corners as early as possible. You know what I mean? And actually have the back push me along and the front end pull me in. And I need to try and do it without losing any traction. Whereas with the other one, I kind of needed to feather the throttle and try to ease on the power, or else I was going to end up spinning out, you know, or I'm going to end up oversteering, making me slide and making me technically go around the corner slower. So even with a car that has less power and more weight, because I gave it better tires and slightly different suspension setup, I ended up making this thing drive really, really nicely. So for the Golden Toge, I think that my tune, well, I don't think my tune is better. I know that my tune is better, but I think for a longer sprint track, I think his tune would absolutely annihilate the E92 that I built right here. So there you go. I know he said try on the Golden Toge, but I honestly do think that his tune would probably be a little bit better on a different track. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. It's a little weird. It's a little different because I get to try someone's tune, and then instead of trying someone else's tune, I ended up building my own to try and see if I can rival it and to try to see if I can do anything better with the tune that I create, pretty much. So, yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this video, and let me know if I should try and do more stuff like this. I'm not going to roast this tune because his tune's actually very good, but maybe not for the Golden Toge, like he said, for me to try. Maybe for something else. Well, anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.